Alright, so really quickly, before we get started here, it's backstory time. I have backstory to share with stuff going on here, because there's a decent few things that led up to this. So, how about first we start out with the PS5 backstory. And okie doke, take care there, Gyukovic. I appreciate you stopping by and hope things are going well today, and same with Guzma there. So, I have been primarily a Nintendo console slash PC gamer for basically the entire lifetime of this channel. Though there have been some games on PlayStation that I have been interested in playing before. But I figured like, oh, my GameCube's so long, I'm probably not gonna get to any of those for a while. And then that Guzma mad lad, being the absolute mad lad that he was just like, oh, I managed to find a PS5 for a good price because it was returned but seemingly in perfectly good condition behind the customer service thingamabob, and I just picked it up and like, yeah, here you go. I was like, what the hell? Excuse me, you what? So when I went and visited him earlier this year in late April, early May, yeah, I ended up getting a PS5 from New Orleans from the super crazy mad lad there that I put in my suitcase and took on my travels around Louisiana and Texas before flying home. And that's what's currently running this, and that's how the PS5 ended up coming to be. Though my GameCube was still really crazy, I didn't really have the chance to start anything new for a little while, so it's only like months later that I'm finally getting around to doing the very first PlayStation 5 playthrough of the channel. Not the very first PlayStation at all playthrough I've done on the channel, like I've done the Sly games on my actual PS2. Like, it shouldn't be too surprising what icon I'm using here, considering the stuff that I like. And considering the Guzma Mad Lad is the one that is responsible for this happening in the first place, like, it's only right that he should be allowed to do, like, game requests for that, considering he's the one responsible for the console here. And he had asked if I could play Final Fantasy 16. So I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and do that. So the very first game I bought for this console was this game here, Final Fantasy 16. I ended up later buying Last of Us Part 2 because I ended up playing Part 1 on the channel on PC, and man, did the PC version suck. The PC port was really awful, so I was like, I'll just get the PlayStation version for the next one, since people tell me that that isn't like a glitchy, horrible mess. Well, apparently people tell me it's a horrible mess in other ways, but so I just picked that up on PlayStation 5, and I'll do that at some point when I get the time, and then Bloodborne will be like the next Soulsborne game we play on the channel, since I just wrapped up the Elden Ring DLC. So I got those just locally here when I got the chance, but I got this while I was still on my travels. I bought my copy of the game from Texas. This is my Texas copy of Final Fantasy 16 being played on my Louisiana PlayStation 5, and Texas is the state that I was born in, so I guess like it's kind of fitting that I picked up Final Fantasy 16 from my birth state here. So yeah, that's the context of the PS5 and why this game came to be. For a little bit of context on Final Fantasy stuff around here, this is the very first Final Fantasy playthrough of the channel. Like, I've known that it's like a super popular, massive IP series, but I've never played a game on the channel. To be more specific, back in 2018 when I was a brand new content creator, the creator who kind of got me into streaming in the first place, Otofu, kind of got me into playing Final Fantasy X, since that's like his favorite game of all time, and Final Fantasy X-2 is like his least favorite game of all time. So back in 2018, I started a playthrough of Final Fantasy X on PC, and I was like a brand new streamer at the time, so I didn't exactly have anybody in the stream to tell me, hey, by the way, your game's muted, the audio's broken, for like 2 streams. So I did 2 streams worth of Final Fantasy X in 2018. I was like, man, now that I realize that my audio is broken, I gotta go back and like redo the stuff that I did before. I gotta redo like the progress I made up to this point, just start a fresh shave. And I meant to for a while, and I just never ended up getting around to it, and it just never ended up happening. So that doesn't exist on the channel anymore. If the day ever comes that I do a Final Fantasy X playthrough, then I will just upload that at the end as like bonus content, because it still exists on my computer, that old cringy awful content. So I technically have streamed Final Fantasy stuff here before, but like not well and not very much of it. So I've had that experience with Final Fantasy, and I played probably about 10-ish hours of Final Fantasy VII on my phone in like junior high school, late junior high school, early high school, something like that, trying to get into it, and I don't really remember a whole lot about it. I would like to play Final Fantasy VII on the channel one day because of like what a big game that is. So maybe that would be the next game that comes after this when I have time for more Final Fantasy. So I've never beaten a Final Fantasy game before. I've only played a little bit of 7 on my own time before I was a content creator, and 10 as a brand new content creator in really awful quality. So this will be the first Final Fantasy game that I play like start to finish. So this is going to be a bit of a new experience for me, will be the case. I've missed some thingamabobs in chat. I need to scroll up a little bit. About the PlayStation 5 situation there, Guzma, that you went and did that because you're so I know I've expressed it on stream many times before, Guzma, but that is an absolutely insane thing to be doing as like a gift to someone. And once again, like, I greatly appreciate it. But also, do not forget to be looking out for yourself, because that's not exactly a cheap thing there. I know that you gotta be like saving up for life stuff too. So like, don't be neglecting yourself, and I don't want to see any charitable things around here from you for some time now, because that is like way too massive of a thing to do. So I don't want to see any monetary things from you. You are hereby banned from doing monetary things around here for a decent while, okay? Hereby banned. But yeah, I might check this stream out to see if you like it, Kroviak. Even if you don't think you'll have a way of playing it since you don't have a PS5 and your PC can't run modern games. Oh, that was another thing I wanted to mention. So this game, it isn't exactly brand new anymore. It came out June of last year, so it's a little bit over a year old. But this game is sort of trending a little bit again because it just came out last week on PC, considering like PlayStation really likes to move a lot of their games to PC later, unless it's Bloodborne. That's gonna be the one that like stays here forever, but everything else eventually goes over to PC. And this just came out on PC last week. And if I didn't own like a PS5, I probably would just pick it up on PC, since it's the platform that I do all of the stuff that I can't play on my Nintendo Switch around here. So realistically, that'd be where I picked it up. But now I'm choking on my own spit. But I already own it on PS5. I already bought my own copy here, so like, why would I buy the same game twice? Also, I figure like if I have the console, it's more fitting to play it here anyway in like the original intended format. Plus, it's the one game that Guzma requested on like the PS5, so even if I didn't own it already, it would still make sense to like pick it up, and yeah. And okie doke, I'll make an exception to that, Guzma. Never had any contact with the Final Fantasy series, but I heard the best entries are 6, 7, 10, 13, and 16. I've heard that apparently 16 is a little bit controversial because it's not as Final Fantasy-like as the other Final Fantasy games. Like, it doesn't follow like the same kind of trends. So apparently there's a lot of the old guard that really don't like it. But I'm not one of the old guard. I'm going into this blind. So I'm probably not going to have those issues that change up the Final Fantasy formula. So I won't have to worry about having those complaints. And hello, I tried to say hello, Final Fantasy 14. Hello, Mortis, who's talking about Final Fantasy 14. Don't like it, try a lot of times, like it's not bad. It just starts so boring, but that's 14 and not 16. Are you talking about the hit MMORPG Final Fantasy 14 with a free trial that I think is actually, there's a thing literally in the case of this game. Download the free trial from the PlayStation Store for Final Fantasy 14 Online. Yeah, if I end up liking this game, I definitely wouldn't mind doing more Final Fantasy games on this channel in the future. I'm not doing 14. Ever. I really don't think. Let's just get that out there. No, thank you. Let's not go into like a big online multiplayer game. That's gonna be a hard pass on that. I mean, the Final Fantasy super fans, you know, aren't the biggest fans of 16. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Not that it's bad, they just don't think it's as good as it could have been. Well, we'll see what I think here. Also, I wasn't I did want subtitles on. That means on, right? Wireless controller vibration, heck yeah. Text language, voiceover language, game performance, graphics, or frame rate. Depends what the frame rate is. Wait, how good did the graphics get? Because my stream can only get up to 1080p anyway. So, like, if frame rate prioritizes like 60 FPS, the quality of this stream is always 1080p, 60 FPS. So, if this gets it consistently at 60 FPS, and the quality of the game is at least 1080p anyway, which I know that like the PS5 can typically do better than maybe I should prioritize the frame rate? I don't know. Let me look it up. Final Fantasy 16 graphics or frame rate mode. It'd be nice if it said what exactly it would do here. Frame rate or graphics mode. So let's see here. Does anyone say like what the stats are in? Graphics mode is the most consistent way to play Final Fantasy 16. But like if it's better than 1080p for graphics mode, there's no point because what I stream won't be better than 1080p anyway. I mean, I can try like this for now, and then I can try frame rate mode later, I guess. I don't know. We shall see here. People who say Final Fantasy 14 say that some of the campaigns are the best overall, better than 16, but they might also just be 14 fanboys. I know that is like a really, really big game. Like, I know that one of the indie games I've played on the channel, Dark Deity, screen brightness, yeah, that should be fine. I remember the director of Dark Deity telling me that apparently in the Dark Deity Discord, I don't know if it's still the case, but at the time, people talk more about Final Fantasy 14 than they do about Dark Deity, and it made him kind of sad. I think it's kind of funny. Enable an on-screen waveform that provides visual representation of in-game sounds and music. Oh, that's nice for an accessibility thing, but yeah, I don't need that. Apparently this game does have a hard mode, so this is like easy mode and this is normal mode, but the hard mode is locked to New Game Plus, but apparently it's not one of those situations like Unicorn Overlord. Like, I did a little bit of research earlier today just before starting this. It's not like Unicorn Overlord where it's just like, oh yeah, the hardest difficulty is just locked behind beating the game once, and then you can start a new file on the hardest difficulty. Or like a Legend of Zelda game where you can play something on hero mode after you've beaten the game for the first time. Apparently, the hard mode is expected to be like an actual New Game Plus situation. And I was reading some posts of people saying like, oh yeah, you're expected to be at least level 50 if you're doing like the actual hard mode and have like all the skills and stuff because it's balanced around that. So even though I'm not starting it on like the hardest difficulty, it sounds like that's fine because the hardest difficulty is expected as just like, hey, here's some more challenge if you're replaying the game. So that works fine. With standard equipment recommended for players who are comfortable with action games. Yeah, with that simplified gameplay, I am good. Is the music not copyrighted? That's really good then. And another thing that I want to mention before getting started here is I wasn't sure when we were going to start this. I was waiting for the game schedule to open up a little bit, and I have a couple other ongoing games right now of Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Persona 3 Reload. But Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I want to spread out because as long as I beat it before January of next year when I'll start Valhalla, then I'm good. So like I could spread it out and take it easy anyway. There's no rush on that. And with Persona 3 Reload, the longer I take between sessions, the more chance I have to like grind and get monies and be able to buy better equipment and stuff like that for upcoming bosses. So that's a-okay. So I want to spread those out. So on Thursday, the new Legend of Zelda game came out. So just 2 days ago, because it's currently the 28th. It's currently September 28th at 11 p.m. local time here. And 2 days ago, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom came out. So I was like, okay, I'll play that and go hard on that, and that'll be like my new mainstream game. And I beat it earlier today. I beat it in 2 days after launch, which is like record time for me beating a new game that I started. So that went through really fast. So it's like, okay, I have some breathing room now. The only next big games are going to be in November that I want to play, which are going to be like Mario and Luigi Brothership and Planet Coaster 2 that I'll put a bunch of time into. There is an October release that I'll play of the new Mario Party, but that's not really going to take all that long, I don't think. So I figured, hey, there's room now to start a new regular stream game that's like my go-to standard thing that I do in between the stuff that's being spread out more. I have time now to start Final Fantasy 16, just 4 months later after getting this console and game. Which I thought it was going to be longer than 4 months later. So taking 4 months isn't too bad considering how many games are usually going on around here.
In the light of the mother crystals. And that it was this light which finally led our forebears out of the darkness.
Creative Business Unit 3, that's my favorite business unit.
Saw in the light gave rise to temptation. Temptation.
Final Fantasy 16.
Lures us back into the crystal shadow.
Beginning our very first Final Fantasy game of the channel, if that brief botched session of 10 didn't count. I don't think it counts, because it wasn't a complete playthrough. Graphics do look pretty nice, I will say. It do be looking clean. I see Guzma saying the audio is a little bit low. I want to make sure that the game is quieter than my voice. I can try turning it up a smidge here. I don't want it to, like, overpower things. But I knew with like this being the first time I've streamed using this console at all, that I might need to adjust some audio levels. Is the Twitch conversion bitrate killing it? The stream manager that I have open, it still looks mostly okay. Oh, Fireball, I'm playing? I'm the bird! Alright. And I might adjust it to like here-ish. Yeah, that sounds good. Oh, and evade. So I need to fireball and I need to evade. Whoa, okay, I did the thing. No, it is definitely not the word. Okay, I just spam fireballs. And what about Super Princess Peach? Also, whoa, you beat it already? How was it? Well, are you being Echoes of Wisdom? I honestly wasn't the biggest fan of it. It had some cool ideas. I liked the puzzle solving elements of it with the summons and all. But the menuing was god-awful in that game. It made it kind of frustrating to use. And the combat was really boring because it's just like, yeah, do your summons and basically watch the AI fight rather than being in the action yourself. So maybe after playing that non-stop start to finish, like 3 streams in a row the past 3 days, maybe I'll feel a lot more engaged by this because apparently this is pretty action-based. Maybe I had my vegetables and now I can have my dessert. But Super Princess Peach was one that I did beat in one sitting as well. That I wasn't the biggest fan of that one either. So here's something very different compared to a lot of the things that I've been playing so far this year. Year of the Realm, 873. That's my favorite year. The Nisa Defile. The whatever. Does everyone have similar tattoos? The title logo design, Yoshitawa Amano.
Both camps have begun
Opening game credits. Yeah, Dark Souls intensifies here.
Shiva's
It's the bonfire.
And only the dominant.
No one else. Where's the fun in that?
That's what I'm saying.
How do we even know the girl will be among them?
Our kind do not question orders. We follow them. Try to keep that in mind.
Their kind being everyone that has these tattoos, yep. That just confirms that.
Let's get this done.
Oh, if there's a whole combat director, I hope the combat's really good. Oh. Localization director. Graphics do be looking pretty nice. They'd be looking even better if I shelled out for a PS5 Pro. I have no doubt. I better shell out the big bucks and make it look just a tiny fraction better. Like, sorry, I'm cheaping out for the sake of the channel here. Taking the cheap road, not, not waiting to pick up one of those and then play every PlayStation game there.
You are key to this mission's success.
Every PlayStation game in quotations. How many really is that?
Yes.
Like, this game isn't even like a PlayStation exclusive game anymore, so like, as of last week. Oh yeah, and I've been getting really annoyed at like the Discord notifications of this game, where right over the bottom left of Discord, it's like, oh, complete a quest by completing like the PC tutorial of Final Fantasy 16, and for 2 months you can get a special icon in Discord, woo, or like animation or something like that, and it's just like, what the heck even? Move Wyvern? Is that move Wyvern? Or to move the camera? Main menu, press that. Which button is that? Okay, so that's the right one. Why are they... You know, it's a lot easier to tell on like something like a Nintendo controller where it's plus and minus, whereas on a PlayStation controller here, there's the hamburger lines above one, and then there's like a surprise kind of 3 lines above another, is what differentiates them here. The 2 buttons up there. Like, look, there's the hamburger one, and then there's the stunned one, is what there is. And what looks like a tiny hair of some sort on the middle of my controller. So, like, learning PlayStation controller buttons between those two will be a bit of an experience. My Xbox controller's been dying lately, and that's what I usually use to stream PC games with. But because it's been dying, I've started using this controller to play PC games around here, so like Persona 3 Reload and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And whenever it tells me to hit things like the options button, it screws me up so bad. Gameplay configuration setting, including camera version, can be adjusted on the system tab. So I have a little bit of experience through those games with like a PlayStation 5 controller, but like, yeah, there's that. PS5 Pro with the disk drive extension, totally not a scam at all, definitely not. Also, this series is 18+, you know, this game has the sex. Finally! I was waiting for that non-stop while I was playing things like Paper Mario the 1000-Year Door, or Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom this past weekend. I was just waiting constantly for it. But it never came, and that's why I was so disappointed, Noah. So finally, Why do some of these characters remind you of Metal Gear Rising characters? Similar kind of aesthetic here, I suppose. They probably would fit right in. Republican Army front lines. Oh, magic. Yeah, I think I will try switching it to frame rate mode later and see how it feels. And if the graphics look any substantially worse. They gonna explode? Yep, guess so. The power of blue. Because again, like, the maximum frame rate of this stream is 60 FPS, but like the graphics are maxing out at 1080p anyway. And I think this monitor is, I forget if it's 1440p or 1080p. So the graphics that I see might be very slightly better than what you see, because what you see is 1080p. Oh, I recognize that Final Fantasy leitmotif. Even if I haven't played the series before, like, I'm very familiar with the music. Yep, that leitmotif with the piano up and down. That looks like a dungeon in a FromSoft game if I've ever seen one. I should go there, fight some boss with a big health bar at the bottom, and then get a piece of equipment I'll never use.
Your swords to our cause.
Come now. Marshal, the King of Waloed is our guest.
Waloed? I'd love to be the King of Waloed.
And you have His Majesty's answer.
That's the good stuff. I hate smoking in here.
I wonder that you summoned us at all. Have you so little faith in your own men? It was the Dalmex who drove back the Crusaders in the Battle of the Twin Realms, was it not? Or am I mistaken? Besides, your dominant has yet to take the field.
I assume those are like super powerful people.
And when he does, our knights would only get in the way.
Perhaps you have not heard, but the Ironblood now have their own dominant. We would be fools to underestimate them.
Bugger their knights.
What did you say?
Should this citadel be allowed to fall,
He's huge.
the capital will lie exposed. And I doubt the Crusaders will wait for the good king's pawns to line up before taking to the board.
Oh, that's rude.
Which just leaves me.
So I assume he's Mr. Dominant Guy.
Ironblood will rue the day they set foot on Storm. This game is over.
Wow, that was fast. I mean, I don't mind getting through playthroughs faster. Ah, yes, the hip sway.
You cock.
Benedicta.
I guess this is how we're leading.
Take care.
Does the
Okay, maybe
lion
never
take
mind.
care when he chases the hare? Or do you think me one of the latter?
No, my love. You are a lion. You're my lion.
Wasn't expecting this in the intro cutscenes.
Benedicta. but I will need someone to warm me when I come home.
The player doesn't even have to work for it at all. Just immediately at the beginning, Noah.
The front lines are gone. This is our chance. The chaos will conceal us.
Okay, so we're a little bit of a subvert mission. What's the phrase for it? Covert mission? Not be so conspicuous, kind of sneak through and do something else? Alright. Gameplay again. That was the sole reason you— what? There goes the chat, but the chat shadow sticks around because Streamlabs is being weird. One day maybe I should just get rid of Streamlabs and start using like maybe the Twitch overlays or something that are available now, or some other service. Yeah, that's the reason why you want me to play the game. You can stop anytime now. Yeah, just that scene in the opening cutscene. Yeah, the game peaked right there. It all goes downhill from here. Oh, X's jump. Out of well, I was about to say out of curiosity, I put into frame rate mode. Will it feel like it's flowing smoother? I was about to try it, but never mind. I'll try it later.
Take the van.
Maybe I'll try it after I've been playing for a little while and see what it feels like. Just leave it as is for the opening.
Wait. Something's not right.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Titan. So the Darmaks finally grew tired of being slaughtered.
And look who's here to greet the bastard.
The effects and everything are really cool.
Come on.
Yeah, the cutscenes are really clean. Yeah, very visually satisfying. Wow, those things can launch high. Oh no, Getsis is enacting his plan over the Unova region. Can the big dude even tell what's going on down there when he's so big? I guess what's going on down there isn't his primary target. Look at this cool ice cube I made. Yeah, when people say that some games are becoming more and more like movies, this is absolutely the type of games they're talking about, aren't they? No doubt. Oh, am I gonna get separated from these guys? My controller is vibrating in my lap like crazy right now, by the way. Did I just like... I just like zoom there with some super speed thing. Oh, is the chat gonna keep on working here? I guess so. But yeah, you fall it immediately with a bit of sexual tension. Hope the first few hours aren't exclusively cutscenes as this Queenix game will be. Wait, what do I do now? Jump. Into the abyss I go. Never mind. I guess I go back? I go back and around it. Nope, not that. Okay, well, what do I know? I guess I just keep on going back in general. Nope. Is there something I'm missing? Am I immediately just dumb? I might just immediately be dumb. Oh, maybe it's... Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Oh, my guys were just, like, waiting here for me. Oh, but now I'm down here, so never mind. Oh, she's fast. All right, yeah, movement, camera, main menu. Is there anything I want to do in the main menu? Ooh, that's a cool effect. Main menu, system. Options on the system tab include wireless controller configuration as well as video, audio, accessibility, and language settings. Okay. Redeemable items. Additional content can be redeemed from the system tab in the main menu upon completing a chance encounter in the main scenario. I assume that's just like the opening mission or something. Whoa, it's one of those menus that like moves. What? Oh, you can change the difficulty anytime. Quick complete? Oh, that seems handy. Photo mode shortcut. I don't think I need to tinker around with any of these. I mean, I could try this really briefly. Ooh, that definitely does feel like it's flowing smoother. Like, that's got to be 60 now, right? I mean, here, just compare. So it doesn't leave that open. So if it's graphics. Yeah, I think I prefer the frame rate, honestly. I mean, graphically, is there all that much difference? But yeah, let's see here. Does it look like there's all that much of a graphical downgrade by... Come on. Like, that is so nice. Yeah, I'm thinking so. And graphically, I'm really not noticing that much difference. I mean, maybe when the next cutscene happens, I notice a difference. But again, like, the quality of this stream should be capping out at, like, 1080p. But I'm pretty sure it was probably at 30 FPS before, and now it's probably at 60, and it feels really good now. Like, I did not really like the feel before. This feels a lot better. So I think I would prefer to play like this, honestly. This feels better. Alright, well, up I go. Let's see. Do the cutscenes look shit now? Doesn't seem like. Guess we'll see when we see characters' faces.
I'm just gonna stand there.
I think it looks fine. I think we're going frame rate mode in this playthrough. I think it's gonna feel a lot better. Because, yeah, it's like comparing the PS5 and the PS5 Pro here, where, like, maybe if I had, like, a really high-quality monitor that could display better graphics, then maybe I'd notice a difference. But all my monitors are pretty standard. Oh, sucks for him! He was 1 week away from retirement! And again, what you guys see is 1080p at most, so, like, who cares? I think that there are settings that you can enable to stream at, like, higher qualities on Twitch, but I've never really experimented around with it before. But if I did playing a game like this, then what you would see would be better than what I would see.
You do not get to die here.
If my monitor is 1080p. It's either that or 1440. I don't remember. It's one of the two. But not like a super high-end monitor. No, he was my favorite character.
Clive! Get up, Clive!
I take it this is in the past. It's not tattooed. 13 summers earlier. Year of the Realm, 860, not 1860. Rosalith, the Grand Duchy of Rosaria. Yeah, graphically, I think this still looks great. Let's go with frame rate mode.
Well, if you're not cut out to be a shield, there's always work for you in the stables. Unless, of course, you think you can defend your master while sat on your ass in a puddle of pig swill.
I'm sure he'd find a way. My brother always looks after me. Right?
Go on. You're sure to hit him
Oh,
eventually.
Pupper!
Don't give up now.
Where'd the bucket go? Oh, never mind. He was getting a sword. I was like, why is he looking at his hand?
Disappoint the gallery.
Oh, combat tutorial, right? So I get to learn how the game works? Yes. Yes, indeed. With the PS5 Pro being digital only with a separate disc drive, can't wait to see a PS6 that costs $1,000 and no physical games at all. Oh, yeah. And yeah, pretty much does look the same from what I've seen. I mean, like, some little details like text or signs and some of the comparisons, I could notice a difference. Or like in some of the leaves of trees, but I have to look close for it. Is the dog Torgal? Oh, because Goose was saying Torgal, I would assume so then. Or maybe this guy. Melee attacks, press X. Not X, I'm thinking Xbox controllers for some reason. Press square to perform a melee attack. Up to 4 attacks can be chained together. I'm just not used to using PlayStation controllers since the PS2. Because the last PlayStation console I owned before this was a PS2. I mean, I played my PS2 all the time as a kid. Oh, big slashes! Just gotta keep on spamming it. Yeah, you do be right there. Alright, well,
Very good.
Very good. Why does he get to train in armor?
Will serve you well in the field.
And I
Can
don't.
the same be said of your spellcraft?
Hardly seems
Flames
fair.
of the Phoenix burn within you. Now let them burn without.
Now let them burn without?
Come, Clive.
Kind of figure
Rain
of speech
fire
is...
down upon me.
Alright, channel your inner flame. I need to move my microphone a little bit because it's currently blocking the bottom right of the screen for me. And if there's things I need to see there. Press the triangle to cast fire, a ranged spell that can strike enemies from great distances. Okay, is there like MP or something that I need to be aware of? Or I can just always do it, I guess. Can I lock on? Okay, I think that's the lock on? Oh, L1 is lock on. Oh, and it's a toggle. Okay. Pew 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 pew. Okay. Lesson complete.
Well done.
Thanks, man.
You wield the Firebird's flames just as a first shield should.
You flatter me.
Yeah, if we're talking about the Lego movie, I'm pretty sure that's Lord Business as well.
Can be arranged. Let's see if you can elude my blade. After all,
So, dodge
your
tutorial.
attacking prowess will count for naught if you don't live long enough to use it.
I mean, Lord Commander sounds somewhat familiar, but I don't know from what. Stay quick on your feet. Was it the same dodge button as before? Yeah, it's the same dodge button as before. Press R1 to evade an attack. Evading an attack at the precise moment it is dealt will temporarily slow the enemy, making it more susceptible to counter using those. Okay, so it works kind of like in Breath of the Wild, where you get, like, the bullet time. That's what it is. Okay, evade 4 times.
Not quite.
Yeah, so I need to do the that kind of thing.
How did you dodge that? I was sure I had you.
Okay, I want to try the last second thing. Nope, give me the bullet time.
Come on.
Okay, that's kind of cool. And then it leads really naturally into the next thing. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Final Space. I love Final Space.
Your blade is not your only weapon. Quickness of thought and fleetness of foot are indispensable arms in any shield's arsenal. But you are not just any shield, are you? Show me what sets you apart from the rest. You have been blessed by the Phoenix, granted the use of its power. Call upon that power now to close on me.
What, can I, like, teleport?
Well,
I'm glad that they at least get to finish the story in, like, the graphic novel that they're making. The singular graphic novel. So at least the story does get to end, but yeah, still pretty sucky. Iconic feats. The Blessing of the Phoenix grants Clive the ability to perform feats of inhuman strength and dexterity. So that's what happened with the rock earlier. Phoenix Shift is one such iconic feat. Press the circle to swiftly close in on a distant target. Shift attack. Both melee and range attacks magic can be used while executing a Phoenix Shift. Okay, so if I do like... Okay.
fly at your foe before he can raise his guard.
And it's always gonna lead with like fire. So even if I do a slash, I do like a fiery slash. Interesting.
Impressive.
Thanks, man. Okay, so is that the full tutorial?
Cannot hope to escape every blow. And death may come by a handful of cuts as easily as it comes by 1,000. There is only one way to ensure that you do not fall. Keep your wounds mended and your energies replenished.
Okay, so I need to heal myself sometimes
Speaking
here.
of which, my lord,
Icon
you
then.
seem a little worse for wear.
I was confused about what that word was at first, but yeah, now it makes a whole bunch of sense. What's that item up there? Potions to fully restore HP. Consumable items such as potions and tonics can be used to restore Clive's HP or temporarily boost attributes. I'm shortcuts. Consumables can be assigned to that. Okay. So up, right, or down. Wait, but not left. I wonder what left is then. Via the items tab in the main menu for quick and convenient use, these items can also be used directly from the menu. Okay, so... There, I did it!
That's better.
Yeah, I'm feeling a whole lot better here now.
Battle is a succession of pivotal moments, wherein life and death can be decided at a single stroke. You must be ready to utilize every tool at your disposal if you are to navigate a path to victory. Or at the very least, to ensure that you live to fight another day. Enough practice. It's time for the test.
Oh no, I didn't
You've
study.
recovered from your soaking, I trust. You wouldn't want to kick a man while he's drowned.
I thought you'd never ask.
Come then, Lord Rossfield.
Is that the first time that he's spoken here?
If you
I guess
believe
at all. I
yourself
don't think he
worthy
spoke
to
at the
be
beginning
called
either.
Shield of the Flame, then prove it.
Apart from after the guy got smushed.
As you wish, my lord.
Yeah, I definitely agree that there should be like a good balance. I don't necessarily agree with like the viewpoint that Nintendo seems to have, where it's like, only do like the necessary cutscenes and that's it ever. Like, why would you make more cutscenes when you can instead focus time on doing more gameplay? Or Sakurai's stance where, oh, people just shared the cutscenes online anyway, so it's no more reward for gameplay, so let's just not make all that many cutscenes anymore. Or let's start making the cutscenes to market new characters, instead of having anything cool in-game. Or just like, have a small handful of cool ones in-game. Like, I think if you could strike a right balance, like, I really like things that are cutscene heavy, like Xenoblade Chronicles, where it's cutscene heavy, but still mostly gameplay for most of the game. But like some really long cutscenes that make you go, whoa, that's crazy, and are like really beautifully animated. Breaking an opponent's will. The will gauge indicates an opponent's will to fight back. Break their spirit by landing attacks and strike them when they are vulnerable.
Go on, you're sure to beat him this time.
Okay. Whoops, I hit the wrong button to dodge. I'm already getting confused with other video games. Okay, so I can like combo with my fire. Why do I keep hitting the top left bumper to dodge? Alright, I'll get used to it eventually here. It's top right bumper to dodge, and that's the one to lock on. Okay, so like... Whoops. You know, it's screwing me up because the top right bumper is the attack button in Assassin's Creed Odyssey that I've been playing throughout this entire year. So I want to attack him, and I keep on hitting the top right bumper here. So, staggering enemies. Lord Murdoch's will has been broken, leaving him staggered. Try dealing as much damage as you can before he regains his senses. Use R2 and square to execute Rising Flames, a powerful iconic ability granted Clive by the Blessing of the Phoenix. Shouldn't that say granted to Clive? Is that a typo? Powerful iconic ability granted Clive by the Blessing of the Phoenix. That should say granted to. I think that's a typo. Okay, so... What? Oh, wow. Whoops. Okay, so just keep on smacking him now. So that's something that'll charge up. Whoops. Okay, so can I do something like that and then teleport and then that seems kind of cool. Ow. All right, so then I try to dodge and I hit the teleport button. Once I get my buttons figured out, oh, then it's acquaintance for you. Just wait for me to get my buttons properly figured out here. Just bear with me. Okay, and then, wait, it was the hold, that one, and then that is what it was. I was trying to remember what button I needed to hold again. I forgot for a hot second. But yeah, I think when it comes to cutscenes and scenery, Transformers Fall of Cybertron did it best, especially with how they mix Metroplex with the scenery and gameplay. Yeah, that'd be a game that I know nothing about, but I will definitely take your word for it here. From story-heavy games like Portal 2 also has some of the best cutscenes. I've never played Portal 2, but I've seen all the cutscenes, and yeah, I can agree there. I can definitely agree with that. Training complete. I would very much like to play the Portal games on this channel one day. There's a lot of things that I have never played on the channel that I'd like to one day. Like Portal, Mass Effect, Final Fantasy. Hey, I'm starting that one at least. I'll get to the other ones eventually. Metal Gear was one of those for a long time, but now I have quite a bit of Metal Gear on the channel, and I really love it.
That was a display worthy of your father.
Red Dead Redemption is another one I'd like to try out one day. What are other series that I want to try out one day?
Including me.
There's probably other ones I can't remember right now. Persona was one for a long time, but now I've been doing those for a while around here. Becoming more and more of a variety streamer every day. The effects are really cool.
Joshua, I was just tired. The Phoenix's flames are a gift. You mustn't waste them.
It isn't a waste. My shields look after me. Why shouldn't I?
That's why. You were coughing this morning too. You shouldn't be outdoors.
I'll be fine. It's just a cold.
Don't push yourself.
His Grace has returned!
Father's back.
Hey.
Your Grace, please, this is no place for one such as you. I would gladly brave hell itself to see my darling boy. Gentlemen, Rosaria thanks you for your indefatigable loyalty.
Thank you.
I don't think I've ever heard that word before.
Joshua. You should not be out of doors. We have discussed this.
I'm sorry.
Good day to you, Mother.
Come, Joshua. Your father will be expecting us. Lord Murdoch?
Your Grace.
What a way to treat your own flesh and blood.
I know. It's not his fault. Not everyone can be born the Phoenix.
We should join them.
Ah, that's how sheathing works. I've seen some interesting videos delving into whether a back scabbard is even all that realistic, and they're really interesting watches. Well, this dude's clearly important.
Rise, my friends.
Welcome home, Father.
Thank you, Joshua. You are well, I trust.
Yes, Father. Much better. Today, Jill and I went to the Bailey to watch Clive's spa.
Is that so?
Quiet, Torgal. Stop it, boy. Not now.
You'll make a fine hound one day.
Father.
Lift up your head, girl.
Thank you, Your Grace.
He's so cute.
The capital rejoices at your safe return, Your Grace.
War is coming, my boy. We must make ready.
Is the situation truly so grave?
Come to the throne room. We will talk there.
Yes, Father. Your Grace.
Shields dismissed.
That's so cute.
Torgal. Where do you think you're going? Clive here is off to see the Archduke.
Right.
Yeah, the moment I saw that shot, I was like, I know it's gonna be gameplay here. Sunrise, sunset. The doggo's the best. Oh, and there's the chat glitching out again. Maybe I'll just get rid of Streamlabs completely one of these days and use something else. Finding your way. Should you find yourself lost, do not fret. Hold down L3 and trust in your animal instinct to point you in the right direction. Current destination will be displayed with that. So hold down the left trigger, huh?
Is trouble brewing?
Okay, so just to face that way.
I need to speak with Father.
I'm glad that it keeps on showing me my buttons at the bottom right, or else I would forget. So I'm very glad for that. I'm not entirely sure. I think I had the issue for a decent while with like the regular chat, and I found that regular chat was kind of difficult to see on a light background. Like if the area is like super white or something like that, then the white text is really hard to see. So I made another instance of the same chat which is just the exact same thing, but like completely black overlay that sits behind the regular chat, and then slightly to the right and slightly down, and it creates a shadow effect. I call it the chat shadow, when it's a whole separate instance. And for whatever reason, sometimes after the chat's been off for a while, and then I turn it back on, the regular normal chat will appear for a second and then vanish, but the chat shadow, the second instance of the same source, doesn't have that same issue. So it's more one of them has an issue that the other doesn't. I really wish it was the other way around if one of them was going to have the issue, like just have the shadow despawn rather than like the actual text itself, because it makes it look really jarring and odd. So yeah, maybe with how OBS grabs it, like I'm not entirely sure, but that's, yeah, how that comes to be. Useful items can be found across the realm by those who know where to look. Items can be viewed on the items tab in the main menu. Alright, I'm taking that potion. Alright, well, I guess I'll go around this way to get into there. Oh, there's an item over there. No! I knew that there was a thing up here. I see it right there. I saw it earlier. Gosh dang it. What a tease. Like, the game's just gonna show me an item that I can't even get. Are you kidding me? Well, that's saddening. Alright, I guess I'll go up this way. Oh, and that one's not even an item. Wait, can I go around and still get the item? Come back there? Yeah, at least I can push her. Whoa! What was going on back there? Was someone glitching out, or was that a sword swinging? Oh, that was a sword swinging. I'm looking back at my stream manager. That was someone swinging a sword around, and it looked like bugged out lighting. Oh, so he's got one of those tattoos. He's like a servant.
Forgive me, Lord Marquess. Pray do not concern yourself with this bungling cur. Bow to him, you fool. Did I say to speak?
It was no trouble, really.
Oh, do not indulge him. To be allowed to stand in your lordship's presence is more than his kind deserves. Why, neither the Empire nor the Republic treat their bearers half so well. He was lucky to be born in your father's dominion. Very lucky, as I remind him every day.
Jeez.
Stand, please.
Stand.
I trust his good fortune will continue.
Of course, if that is your lordship's wish.
Don't work too hard. Remember, it is for the good of the duchy that you serve.
As do we all, my lord.
Man, they can really express a lot about the atmosphere of this world in a short scene, huh?
Come along now. Back to your duties.
Yeah, a short scene like that makes me understand a lot about this world. Very good cutscene there. And then a genuine one, not one that he's ordered to. The doggo! Yeah, that was a really good cutscene. Right there. Go back there to see how far you can push the girl. I mean, I could do this. Whoa! 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 What? Why did I stop? Oh, there we go. I think she's getting stuck on, like, bars of the fence. But your complaints about the very cutscene-heavy beginning, this is really good. Yeah, that was some pretty good storytelling. Right there. Like, that was a very short scene that seems like it wouldn't be all that impactful to the story. Like, there was no major story events that happened at all. But maybe I could get the item this way. But that really expressed a lot about the atmosphere of the world. And the status of those with the tattoos. Yoink! High potion, it's mine now. What's up, how you doing?
Fine display, my lord. Almost felt sorry for the Lord Commander.
Okay, I'm glad that people keep speaking even as I run away. It's not one of those video games where you start speaking to them and once you get to a certain distance away from them, they just shut up. But yeah. Yeah, indirect world building. You love to see it. It's really good. Okay. Yeah, I gotta stick with frame rate mode. I can't imagine switching back to graphics mode now. The heck are these effects? Like wind gusts? What is this? What is this? I can't jump over this hedge. Are you kidding me? Oh, it's because someone's doing something, is what the effect is. What are you doing? I can't get there. I want to get there, though.
Marquis, forgive my man. You'll be done in a jiffy.
Oh.
Just getting the place tidied up for the big procession.
Okay. Oh, there's an item over here. I guess they're using wind magic and tidying up the trees. It seems. Go ahead and yoink. I'm kind of glad that I automatically collect things and I don't have to press a button to get them. That's rather nice. Do be pretty nice. Alright, well, this way I go. Making an effort. Some large gates and stiff levers require extra effort to operate. Use X to access them, then hold R2 to push or pull with all your might. Do I have the choice? Nope. It'd be funny if I could try interacting with a door the wrong way. But nope. Guess not. Guys using a hairdryer to dry the water droplets. Yeah.
Good luck.
That's... Oh! I forget what I was about to say. You know, it's also especially refreshing to see this game running smoothly after having just played Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom start to finish with no other games in the middle, considering the frame rate of that game is absolute ass.
Presence, Your Grace.
Like, it was rarely ever even hitting 30. It was really bad.
Stop licking my boots. Mother isn't here.
So this is, like, really refreshing.
Do the territories fare any better?
Most lie under a pall of black. In just these few moons, the Blight has taken nigh on all of the northern reaches. It is only a matter of time before it crosses the border.
By the flames.
Nearly every available bed in the capital is already occupied by those fleeing the Deadlands. Even if we were to send them south to Port Isolde, more would only follow in their wake. Every day we delay brings us closer to disaster. We must move now.
Against the Iron Kingdom.
We have traded blows with them for too long. It is time to end it.
At the very least, we must secure Drake's breath. Without the blessing of the Mother Crystal, we cannot defend our realm from the spread of the Blight.
The Iron Blood will not relinquish it easily. This will be a bitter fight.
We ride for Phoenix Gate tomorrow. There we will listen to the words of our ancestors, as tradition dictates.
Am I to go with you as Joshua's shield?
There is something else I would have you do first. Rodney.
You will have heard the reports, I am sure, of beastmen from the north being sighted within our borders.
Goblins in the Stillwind Marshes. I know of the rumors, yes.
Then you know what must be done. I will give you 2 good men. While we ride north tomorrow, you will journey to Stillwind, search it and clear it. Then you will join us at Phoenix Gate.
It is time to prove your strength. And shut your mother up for good.
I will do my duty, Your Grace.
That will be all. Rest well. We ride at dawn.
Yes, Your Grace.
Okay. So I have the task ahead of me. Active time lore. Oh, is the chat gonna keep on working? Whoa. Hold that. What is that? Is that like the really big button in the middle here? Hold that to access the active time lore ATL feature. A compilation of important information relevant to Clive's current storyline progression. ATL can be viewed during most cutscenes. All ATL entries can be accessed later in the game. Okay, not tap it, so hold it? Oh yeah, hold it. Okay, so there's gonna be like the different plot points going on. Rosalith Castle, situated in the heart of the ducal capital of Rosalith, it is from this towering ivory fortress that the Archduke and his family rule their nation. An architectural feat the founder himself will be proud of. The castle has stood since the early days of the duchy and watched over the rise of this proud nation and the people who inhabit the city beneath. Also, I assume it's going to be one of those games where it's like, here's the super crazy stuff happening in the intro, and then it sends you to the past to build up the story up until that point for a little while, and then later on, I'll be back into the present again from the beginning, and now it's like, okay, now we're caught up to speed, and now we know what's going on here. We're in Duchy of Rosaria, a nation occupying the western reaches of the continent of Storm, with Rosalith as its capital. Rosaria was originally formed from a collection of smaller dominions, all of which now stand united under the banner of Archduke Elwin Rosefeld. Is that guy? My dear old dad? Not possessing a mother crystal of its own, the duchy has long been locked in bitter conflict with the Iron Kingdom over possession of Drake's Breath, which lies still further to the west in the midst of the boiling sea. Okay, what's Drake's Breath? Yeah, Elwin Rosefield. Rosefield, not Rosefeld. Archduke of the Grand Duchy of Rosaria and father of Clive and Joshua, loved by his people for his steadfast leadership both at home and on the battlefield, which he put to good effect in quelling the rebellious northern territories. The Iron Kingdom, also known in the local tongue as Hiran, the Iron Kingdom is an archipelago nation situated off the west coast of Storm, with its capital at Craig Loiskte. The mother crystal, Drake's Breath, rises from a volcanic island situated just within, or without, its borders, depending on whom you ask, and has been the subject of long-standing conflict between the Ironblood and the neighboring Duchy of Rosaria. The Iron Kingdom's inhabitants shun any contact with outsiders, which has given rise to a unique, if largely inward-looking culture. That's interesting. So I guess you can open this menu at any time and get, like, more context about stuff, if you're not clear on something. The Mother Crystals, enormous glassy mountains, 5 of which tower over the lands of Valithia. They are the source of all the crystals that the people of the Twins rely on in their everyday lives. Not only that, but the lands surrounding them are rich with ether, making the magics the crystals cast even more potent. For these reasons, great nations have sprung up around each Mother Crystal and have long warred with each other for possession of their blessings. But yeah. Yeah, so this game released a little bit over a year ago. But it just came out last week on PC. So there's probably a whole bunch of new players of this game now. So this game is probably like somewhat trending again because of that, because a bunch of people playing it on PC now. Probably. I don't know. I would assume so. Alright, let's retire to my chambers. Whoa, it's hard to see things. It's so dark. I feel like I'm playing Twilight Princess right now.
How long will you be away this time?
Not long. 4 days, maybe 5.
And you will be taking Joshua?
Well, I can't exactly leave him behind, can I? The blood of the Rosfields runs in his veins. Before going to war, we perform the rite at Phoenix Gate. It's our way. You know that. And only the dominant can enter the apothecary, so yes, I'm taking Joshua.
Oh, to hell with your way! The boy is ill.
You think I don't know that? But the boy is also the Phoenix. The heir to the throne. You can't keep him in swaddling clothes all of his life.
Elwin!
Don't worry. Clive will watch over him. Though he is a youth of but 15 years, he's already a fine soldier. He will make a splendid shield.
You see more in him than the Phoenix did. He was rejected, Elwin. Our household has no place for such a failure. He is worthless, a man like any other.
As am I, my dear.
Nonsense. You are the Archduke of Rosaria.
Oh, not this again. You know as well as I do that I only sit upon the throne because my father was taken before his time. I am merely warming the seat till Joshua comes of age.
You are your father's firstborn son, and you sit upon the throne. All is in its right place. Unlike some, you have not disgraced our noble blood.
Without men like Clive to keep us safe, your precious noble blood would long since have graced the gutter.
This guy has a good head on his shoulders.
I'm going to sleep.
I don't know about her, though.
This is it, then. Time to prove yourself.
Wishing on a star?
You don't have dog this time, so I'm not interested.
For that. I should get some sleep.
Right. You're going with them tomorrow, aren't you?
I am Joshua's shield. I'm sworn to protect him. He takes too many risks. I only wish I could save him from himself.
Clive, you...
I have another mission too. Father has given me my first command.
Well, if you're not going to pray to Metia for your safe return, I shall just have to do it for you. There's going to be another war, isn't there? Since coming here, I've begun to take peace for granted. I assumed the war between our nations would be the last. But it never really ends, does it?
No. The next war will be bigger than before.
But you'll be alright, won't you, Clive? You're a shield of Rosaria after all, and blessed by the Phoenix.
It's getting cold. We should go in. My lady.
Good night, Clive.